her background is
But-
nerd.
Darren should have gone to school here instead of Cutter, because you are a devil. I can tell you that right now. A minute.
She rolls in like she's a Hollywood movie star now. She just here, hey, she's just here for the camera.
I guess I tooted.
No hard-hitting questions here. Yeah,
Shall
but-
we talk about my one-sentence resignation?
Well, welcome to the next edition of Spilling the Tea in Studio D. We are very honored and privileged to be where we are today. We're on the road again. I don't want Candace
want me to
singing.
sing?
No,
On the
no,
road
Willie,
again.
no, oh Lord. But anyway,
To get on the
we
road.
digress. But we're at Crystal Bridges in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas, and again, we're very fortunate to be here. And we're excited to talk to Michelle. Again, I don't want to mess your last name up.
It's Flournoy.
Flournoy. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, as I say, looks just like it's spelled.
No,
Yeah.
the spelling doesn't help at all. No.
So was that
We're-
something you were thinking about as you were getting married?
Actually, I did like
Yeah.
the way it sounded, Michelle
Yeah,
Flournoy.
Flournoy.
It
It's
does sound
very
really nice.
artistic.
Yeah, it
I
does.
like it.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I
yeah,
do.
it sounds good.
We're so excited that you were
Yeah.
here. Thank
Well,
you so much
yeah.
for making
Well,
the
thanks for
Thanks for having
Yeah,
us. We're glad to be
absolutely.
here.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do here, and how you came to the position you're here at Crystal Bridges.
Yeah, well, I'm the Senior Director of Learning here at Crystal Bridges, and I oversee all of our K-12 initiatives, from field trips to teacher professional development to sustained arts integration
Okay.
school partnerships.
Awesome.
And I'm from Arkansas, from
Right.
the Central
Yeah.
Arkansas area.
Right.
I went to college at the University of Arkansas, and I had an internship that profoundly changed me
Right.
at the Walton Arts Center, where
Yeah.
I kind of traveled around to different departments for a summer, but then I landed in the education department, and I got
Gotcha.
to be part of their Summer Teacher Institute with educators from across the state, artists from across the state, and that is when
Right.
I knew this is what I want to
Right.
do with,
Right.
with my
Awesome.
career. And
Right.
I've taken a couple, trips. I've lived in D.C. for
Right.
a while, and then I kind of made my way back here when the museum opened. Crystal Bridges is really what brought me back to Arkansas.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, so with that thought, I mean, starting out, Crystal Bridges wasn't here, right?
That's
So
right.
You didn't really have that in your mind. So.
No, I didn't at the time. Crystal Bridges wasn't here, and so I knew I wanted to work in art and education, and that field is the opportunities are usually on the coasts, and
Right.
Yeah.
and that's it's really why Crystal Bridges exists right now, is to
Right.
provide access in the heartland and in Arkansas, because
Right.
our amazing founder Alice Walton is a core belief that the arts are not just for those on
Right.
the east or
Yeah.
west coast, but those here
Right.
in
Right.
Arkansas.
That's awesome.
And that seems to be her priority, really.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
So,
it
okay.
is 100%.
Yeah, and you got to come back home.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
it's great.
Yeah,
yes.
very much appreciate the fact that giving everybody across not only the country, but really
Yeah.
bringing it home to Arkansas.
Yes, here in Northwest Arkansas too, on the land that she grew up on.
Right.
Yeah.
which is
That's
amazing.
incredible. Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we noticed coming in, you said it was the first day actually of summer camps.
Yes.
So how many of those do you guys have? And-
Oh, we have summer camps, at least 4 happening throughout for all weeks of the summer.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so this is a program that we have grown a lot in the last few
Yeah.
years, and we do things such as ceramics,
Oh,
digital
wow.
art,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
nature and outdoors,
Yeah.
biking.
Yeah.
And we start at age 4,
Oh,
so
wow.
we see some the younger students
Yeah.
as well, and go up to like the mid-teens, 14,
Okay. Wow.
typically.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like that.
You could learn to ride a bike.
I
How about
totally
that?
could.
Yeah, you
We
could.
have many trails.
Oh, yeah. And now there's some significance to the house that's around on the premises here. What
The
is
Frank
that?
Lloyd Wright House.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that is a major work that we had here, I believe in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
that really kind of helped showcase the architecture and
Right.
design
Yes.
of the buildings, and we're able to kind of take students through those journeys as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
With that.
That's pretty awesome. And obviously, be remiss if we didn't talk about the expansions going on currently.
Yes. We're so excited. Next year, we'll be opening a new expansion of the museum, which will include additional gallery spaces. But what I'm most excited about is a learning and engagement hub. And so that means spaces for students to come and actually do art making. And our teachers have really been requesting this for so long, and our students, but logistically we haven't been able to do it. So with the expansion, we'll have a ceramic studio, a digital art studio, more open studios, as well as a community lounge and a kind of a mini Great Hall lecture hall that will also help us expand our student lunch service.
Yes.
There you go.
But that, and then also informal gallery space, so we have more opportunities to showcase student work.
Right.
Just really leaning into that access
Yeah.
from a visit standpoint, but from giving that opportunity for a student for their artwork to show up in a major American art museum here in Arkansas. Is really
Well, you know,
exciting.
and to that, you know, in our area, I know, like we're in Congressman Westerman's 4th District. Okay, so he does like an art contest every year, and it wasn't really until, you know, kind of, you know, got that going that I paid attention to details that students do. I mean, there is some incredible artists.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm so jealous
in the high
of that.
schools
I
and
wish
probably middle schools
that I
around the
could
state
do
of
that.
Arkansas. But to plug that in and just have, you know, anytime they get a chance to showcase it, I mean, that was something I guess I didn't think that side of it. But man, kids are so proud of the work that they do, and sometimes you'll have the occasional wallflower that you know, that, well, I don't think this is any good, but you know, they'll put it out there. But
Yeah, we actually have some amazingly talented artists within our state. We actually just hosted our inaugural Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, and we had student winners whose work went on to be displayed at the Met in New York. So students across the state can participate in that, and we'll have applications opening later in the year.
So what are some of the other facilities? I mean, how many acres are here? There's like
That's a good question.
hundreds, I'm sure, right?
134 acres.
Wow.
Okay, so in addition to the museum's expansion, our entire campus is expanding, and so it's now the Crystal Bridges campus for art and wellness.
Wow.
So we have the Heartland Whole Health Institute, and then the Alice Walton School of Medicine, which will welcome their inaugural class this summer.
Wow.
So that's also just part of that. That vision of our amazing founder, Alice Walton. And, you know, I mentioned we have, you know, our 3 pillars of art, architecture, nature. We're going to add wellness to that too.
Well, you got to be well to participate in the rest of them, right?
That's true. That's true.
Well, and how art can help us also.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
be well in all aspects
sure.
of life, from health to education.
You know, as I look around, it's so beautiful outside, and I just can't imagine somebody having that vision to turn basically a bunch of woods into, you know, just this
so
world-renowned art center, and now adding the medical piece is just incredible. So
it's amazing. I feel lucky to be part of it.
Sure.
And so
I
honored
bet.
to share with our community, our students.
Well,
and
but
teachers
I think
across the
that
state.
you know, that speaks to Alice's heart too. I mean, you know, being in Arkansas and knowing
she grew up on the land.
Yeah,
too.
grew up on the land. Yeah. So
amazing.
and knowing that they're kids that you know, again, goes back to that exposure piece, I think. And what a kind-hearted mission that is, that every kid has the opportunity to be exposed to this stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
So back to you for a little bit. So how did you get into art? Was there one teacher that inspired you, or?
Actually, yes. My background's actually in music too.
Gotcha.
So and I
we should have had you sing the intro.
Yeah, really.
I play the flute.
really.
Play the flute. Yeah.
I did have a high school teacher named Karen Dismuke, and she really was incredible to my growth and development in the discipline,
Right.
which I think as a leader, some
Yeah.
of those skills are still
Yeah.
like because I participated in the arts, and,
Right.
you know, the
Yes.
same is true
Sure.
for visual art
Yeah.
as well.
But you know, like you said, how that led your journey to college and
Yes.
then to DC, and then I mean, and again, you know, DC, you think, yeah, there's art there, but until this came along, you know, and put Arkansas on the map,
Yeah,
I mean,
100.
there wasn't much of anything here. you
No,
know, so
and I knew
a couple of wax museums, that's about it. Yeah.
I've been to a few of those.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Those are really fun,
They are fun,
actually.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you're totally right. It's incredible, like the career paths that it's
Right.
really
Yeah.
opening up. And
Sure.
what was also interesting about my time in DC, just to bring it back to the school visits at the museum, is in 2015, we conducted a formal evaluation on our school visits program with the University of Arkansas that sought to measure the educational value of a field trip.
Okay.
So, you know, sometimes a field trip can be viewed as like enrichment, or
Right. Yeah.
this will be nice, you know,
Sure.
once we get through
Yeah,
the school year.
right,
And
yeah.
we want people to come at any time.
Right.
But the research backed up that there is a strong educational value
Sure.
to a museum visit, specifically
yeah.
with critical thinking and recall, and that the effect is greatest
Right.
for rural high poverty
Yes.
students.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
remember when I was in DC working, I remember the day that
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
evaluation came out, because within the field of art and education, we were all talking about it. And
Yeah.
it was really what put Crystal Bridges
Sure.
on the map.
Yeah.
And so it's really exciting to be able to grow.
Oh
grow from
yeah,
that.
and like I
That's
say,
so
you know, even in some of the larger cities in the state of Arkansas, I heard somebody say once. I mean, if you boil it right down to it, you know, pretty much every school in the state of Arkansas is a rural school. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so, and you know, we're no different than any other state. We've got pockets of poverty in most all districts. Some are just, you know, have bigger pockets, obviously. But in order, you know, to give them this opportunity, again, I can't just go on and on about how incredible
It's just
that is.
so incredible.
Yeah.
So incredible.
So, what museum were you at when you were in D.C.?
I was actually at Performing Arts Center, the John F.
Okay.
Kennedy Center for
Gotcha.
the Performing Arts.
Wow.
And so they have a
Okay.
national arts and education program
Okay.
that has been around for a very, very
Right.
long time. And
Gotcha.
so it's kind of where I learned all the everything.
Yeah, so
I
that's
know
great. All the
there,
experience
so
you get to have
the
there and
teachers-
bring back.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's really good.
it was
so,
really incredible.
so obviously, this probably wasn't around when you first started out, but I mean, you know, as far as a great place to land, couldn't have got much better for you, huh?
No. And if you had asked me back then, where, you know, once the museum had opened, what, you know, where do you want to be?
Right.
And I would have said,
Oh
here.
yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It's home. Gives us
yes,
like home.
yes, it is
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I would imagine it's kind of like the thing that I have to have in my life is no day is the same day.
no,
Yeah, right.
but I thrive on that.
Sure, absolutely.
really
I do too.
exciting
I do
with
too. And
Yeah.
I mean,
students and
she's
teachers.
queen of the Post-it note, and I'm the queen of where to lay my
Yeah.
Post-it notes. You know, that's me. You know, so
That's
And
true.
I like to say too, and really, it's a core belief of everyone here at the museum that a day at the museum without students is not a good day
Sure,
at the museum,
right.
and we
Oh, yeah.
truly
Yeah.
believe that from
Yeah.
our founder to all of us
Oh,
walking
yeah.
through our doors every
Yeah.
day. So we
well,
love that
that was
excitement and
that's probably the
energy.
biggest adjustment in our roles now. We don't necessarily see kids every day,
Right.
but
we don't directly.
but we have
impact
the
it.
opportunity with 22 districts if we want to do a drive-by and get in there. You know,
Oh, there
you
it is.
know,
Good.
Yeah. I mean,
Pre-K
it's
is
just,
my favorite.
it's just
Oh,
like
that's
this, you
awesome.
know. Somebody
Yeah.
listens to the podcast and they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, we're going to take our kids."
Oh,
Maybe
that's
they
amazing.
hadn't heard of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
We also have, I wanted to mention, a new middle school initiative too.
Oh,
So
wow.
two
Yeah.
middle
Yeah.
school formal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is through the Wingate Foundation.
Okay.
They have provided funding for a museum school partnership. So
Oh.
we're working right now with 16 schools, middle schools,
Right.
and that's different kind of for every school district,
Sure.
but we're looking at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Okay. Right.
On an arts integration partnership, and it's deep, sustained partnership. So
Yeah.
with that, it is a visit to the museum, but it's
Right.
also our museum educators coming out into the school,
Wow.
working with teachers
Yeah.
on different ways to build our and center our work our
Yeah.
American art into their curriculum.
Yeah.
And then we provide funding for the schools and students to work on a community public art project
Right.
centered around telling stories of America from their community.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah. I
this-
like that.
Yeah.
That's
This
awesome.
is-
Yeah.
it's really exciting. We just finished year one,
Mm-hmm.
and we are looking to work with additional schools
Okay.
if any middle schools are
Okay.
interested. But the idea is that after a few years of piloting, we'll also scale this to be to have national impact
Oh, wow.
across the heartland. So
Man.
what we're
Yeah.
doing here in learning in Arkansas will
Yeah.
will inform
Yeah.
that scale.
Yeah. Well, you keep mentioning, the art educators or museum educators,
Yes.
I guess they're called. But again, in the particular one we had, it was interesting to hear that training process because, I can't imagine. I mean, every piece of art that was shown to us and how educated they were on that. There wasn't a question asked, I think, that they couldn't.
Right.
I don't
They
think
didn't
I ever
answer.
Yeah.
heard somebody say, I don't know, I'll check on that. I mean, they were dialed in. So talk about that process.
Yeah. Well, it takes time, but we do when we're growing our museum educators. Most of them have a teaching background,
Right.
or are artists, and they bring
Right.
so much of their artistry to how they teach in the galleries. But they also will spend time doing a lot of professional development for our own museum
Right.
educators,
Yeah.
from working alongside our amazing curators here, who they're the ones who decide
Yes.
kind of what goes on our
Right.
walls and how is it displayed. And so it's just continual education for us. Collaboration with our broader museum, deepening our knowledge of art history, and kind of that collaboration too with living artists as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were asking some great questions like what's the most expensive painting?
Oh,
Yeah, oh,
that's
yeah.
a good
And then
one.
they
Yeah.
took us there to it, and we were just like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, we had this discussion over dinner last night. I forgot the kind of flower it was.
It was
See,
it Jimson weed?
that's-
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Georgia
Georgia
O'Keeffe.
O'Keeffe.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And we were just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of
We talked
money.
about it on the drive home that day. We're like, we were standing in front of what was it,
40, was it 44,
million?
$45 million
Yeah,
painting?
yeah. We're like, oh my gosh, so,
Right here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
And
That's
I think folks, that's important for them to know. I mean, there are some great pieces here.
Yes.
But I mean, like,
It's
even for
amazing.
kids to say, hey, if I'm a great artist, I mean, like, that could be
This-
me one day. And
yeah,
I could have
absolutely.
a $44 million
Yeah,
painting.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
how cool is that?
And speaking of that, one of the guys in our group was like, so what happens if it gets messed up or whatever? And they're like, well, we have trained professionals that
Yeah, there's a whole team
Yeah.
behind that
Yeah.
takes care of the art and
Yeah.
conserves
Yes.
it
sure,
and
yeah.
It was really neat.
preps it.
Well, and that's a whole career I'd never
Yeah,
heard
it
of
is.
until then.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
those detailed people in life, I'm sure that's
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do have experiences at the museum for students to come and learn about that behind the scenes
Right.
look too.
Right.
So
Right, yeah.
we know careers are a huge
Sure,
focus in our,
yeah.
in our state
Yes.
right now, so
Yeah.
they can come and learn about
Right.
all of the different careers it takes to run a museum.
right.
And we actually have some visible storage in our galleries right now
Right.
because we're in the process of
Sure.
reinstalling all of our art leading up to our expansion opening
Right.
next year. And so you can get a behind the scenes peek
Yeah.
at like how it's even stored, you know,
Wow.
if
Oh,
it's not
that's
on
neat.
viewed.
Yeah.
What does our team think about and
Right.
in that process, which I think is kind of cool. It kind
It
of
is cool.
demystifies
Oh,
the museum a
absolutely.
little bit.
And
Yeah.
you may or may not know this, but I mean, you said something, the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
How many employees, roughly, give or take, you think?
I think about 400. Yeah,
Wow.
about 400
Yeah,
and
yeah.
growing
Yeah.
with our
Well,
campus.
and the reason I say that is because the majority of them are, a lot. I should say it, not the majority, but a lot of them are. I mean, they're so they're not very intrusive, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You don't even know they're here.
Yeah.
But the whole time it's being kept up. It looks great,
Yes.
you know. So
Yes.
it's yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are typically closed on Tuesdays, and that's
Right.
kind of the time where it's
Gotcha.
like we go in and
Sure.
care for the art,
Yeah.
and so that day is
Yeah.
is very nice for our team
Right.
to be
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
able to have that.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm not
right.
going to mess this up. That how do you say it? A museum? How do you say that?
The Amazium.
Amazium. I
Yes.
knew I'd mess it up. But so talk
You were
to us a
close.
little bit
Yeah.
about that.
So that is a children's space. It's so fun. It's a play space right as you enter the campus right there. They do a lot of science, like
Right.
STEM,
Gotcha.
STEM type
Okay.
of learning.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
And field trips, and you can also go on the weekends.
Okay.
As well with
Yeah.
your
Specific
families.
ages, or is it just
It's all ages.
anything?
All
Okay.
ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's probably a pretty popular.
Oh, it is. And actually, when we have groups come from a pretty far distance, we recommend do them
Doing
both.
both.
Right.
Doing
Oh,
both.
yeah.
If you're gonna
Yes.
make the
while
the
you're
trip,
here,
yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
here, do
Yeah,
them both.
exactly.
Yes, do them
Yeah.
both. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're amazing partners. We've
Right.
partnered on some teacher engagements, which we do offer teacher professional
Right.
development.
Right.
Specifically in the summer, we have summer conferences here, and sometimes we collaborate with the Amazium on kind of like the art and science
Right.
curriculum, and then we also can travel to your community and
Right.
your school
Yeah.
to do teacher professional development, all centered around integrating American art into the
Yeah.
curriculum.
Well, and it's interesting too. Some of the pieces that are in here are from famous people from maybe other artistic genres, if you will. Like I think it was Jewel had like a little
Yes.
sculpture in here
Yes.
at one
Yeah,
point.
it's really
and-
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by seeing that, made me go on and check it out a little deeper. I didn't realize she loves Northwest Arkansas.
Yes, she does. Yes,
Yeah.
we had a great engagement with Jewel last year, and we actually did like a really exciting drone show
Oh wow.
too.
neat.
And
Yes.
so
That's
you,
neat.
you know, we love trying new things.
Sure.
and,
Yeah.
and testing things out.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
that one was really fun. That
Oh
was really
yeah,
fun.
yeah, and that's the key to it, I think too. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Some of the best lessons learned are from failing or
Yeah.
maybe didn't go quite the way we wanted it, but next time we know what to do differently or not to do at all. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Cool.
So as we talk to you a little bit just again about you, let's dial in. We like to do a little personal kind of stuff a little bit, but
Okay.
I heard this question the other day, and it was pretty a pretty good one. And
Okay.
it was what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self maybe to do differently? Or would you?
There's
I
so many
think
things
I-
I would tell my 18-year-old
Yeah.
self to do
I think I
differently.
would tell my 18-year-old self to just not worry.
Right.
It's everything happens for a reason, and everything leads to a path that you were meant to be on.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think when I was younger, even in college and graduating,
Yeah.
I'm very driven, which is good.
Right.
But so much so that it's
can get
I was
stressed.
constantly like I have to have
Yeah.
a job the week
Yeah.
after I
Yeah.
graduate, and
Yeah.
I've got to, and it's okay. Like
Well,
it's all.
and it's funny you said that because everybody's wired differently, and I truly have been blessed with this philosophy. I mean, you can get nervous about those things or worry yourself to death and know things are going to work out, or just know that they're going to work out. And I've always been the kind it's going to work out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what? So what kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Hey,
yeah.
Darren asked me that in the
Yeah.
office, and I was like, instantly, I was like, worry less about what people
Okay,
think
there
about.
you go. That's
Yeah.
a good
Because
one.
I
Yeah.
grew up as a pleaser, and I was always, and it's,
Yeah.
if I could go back and tell myself, don't worry about it. It doesn't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
matter. Who
Yeah.
cares
It
what
is
everybody thinks?
very
I mean,
true.
like,
Well,
whatever.
yeah.
Just
Well, and I've heard this recently too. I mean, what other people think about you is none of your
yeah,
business.
exactly. You
So,
can't
hey.
That's a
control
good
it.
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I like
That's
that.
a good
Yeah.
one. I could
Control
use
it.
that.
That's
I
right.
mean, like,
Absolutely. Yeah. So,
whatever.
I mean, because a lot of times I think we are. We and again, like I told you before, I was in radio, and so the creative piece. Sometimes you don't try because maybe somebody says you're not cut out for this, this, or did you think about that? Those kinds of things. But so, like I said, when I heard that, I was like, man, that's spot on. I don't care. Yeah.
Well, and I used to tell the middle school kids. I used to tell the middle school kids because I'm like, that's what I would go back and I'm like, be you, be you. Who cares if you're different? Who cares? We're all supposed to be different. Like we all have different gifts to make this world work.
Yes.
So,
and the arts are such a great way to be able to showcase that. And really tell that to students, especially at the middle school age.
Yeah, and art's one of those areas where, I mean, you're going to catch the kid maybe that's not an athlete, not involved cheer dance or any of that stuff. Yeah. And a great, to nurture that and encourage that. I mean, that sect of kids exists.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Actually, on the topic of athletes, I do want to just say really quickly, we do have an exciting special exhibition coming this fall that students will be invited to, but it's called Get in the Game, and it's art and sports. So I'm loving it because we might be able to engage the athletes that don't maybe think the arts are for them.
For them.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're hopeful we can welcome all the students across the state to come.
So if we were to jump in your car today and hit the play button, what's on your playlist?
I think I have a Spotify playlist called Girl Power. I have 2 daughters.
Oh, okay.
It's like
I got you.
That's
all sorts
awesome.
of really fun songs that.
Oh, that's awesome. I can relate to that.
Yeah. How old are your daughters?
6 and 8.
Oh,
So we like to just kind of have some
Hey, you're
fun.
looking at a guy who loves a little party in the USA once in a while.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
They request that one a lot.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. Exactly.
I love it. Yeah, we love music. Darren always jams in office.
What's on yours?
Definitely. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I kind of am too.
Well, and like I said, when I worked in radio, it was primarily back in the 90s. It was country. I mean, I love me some 90s country.
I do too.
I like a lot of today's stuff, but I mean, when I say I'm all over the place, it can be gospel, R&B, a little bit of rap thrown in, and Candace will surprise you. She's a rap person.
I like and I love Nelly and Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, country, really Christian. I love it all. Like it's funny if everybody's just listening to my stuff, they're like, good grief.
Well, and that's the other thing. When we get the opportunity to speak to groups, I talk to them a lot about music and really how it can. I mean, it can change your attitude.
Oh,
punch of a button.
Yeah, it definitely can.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So with that being said, if you weren't doing this, what other career do you think you may have gone?
I think I'd be a teacher. 100%. I'd be a teacher.
Well,
and you kind of are.
I started to say 100%. I feel like she is.
In a way.
In a way, you are.
Yeah.
Just have that calling.
Yes, absolutely. It would definitely be something with kids and youth and art.
And I think that's why in no kidding, and I've been teacher, coach, worked as a middle school administrator, high school administrator, and a superintendent, but my favorite time was with those middle school kids. It's just the unpredictability. And then really when I go home most days, I'd look in the mirror and say, you love them because you are one.
That's what I said. We always like, we're middle school.
Well, it's been so exciting this last year working with the middle schools because all teachers are amazing and there's something really special about the middle school teachers because you have to love
that's right.
what you
have
do.
To,
you have to love it, and they're so dedicated and committed.
Well, I used to say this about
really
middle school kids is I mean, they don't really care about anything themselves, each other. I mean, they're so offensive to each other, but again, it doesn't bother them. It just kind of rolls off their back. And I think again, going back to making the world a better place, if we could all be middle schoolers, what a place it would be. So
there you go.
Well, we appreciate the time. We really do.
So much. This was so much fun.
It's really fun.
I appreciate y'all making the trip.
Absolutely.
And thank you for everything that you do.
Hey,
it's really important.
I want to throw it back out to you guys. Thank y'all. I mean,
thank you guys.
I mean,
the opportunities that you have for these kids.
Yeah.
I mean, just think there's kids that are going to go into art and do things because of the field trips.
And one of my favorite things to say is, teaching is such a tremendous responsibility, but even more than that, it's an incredible opportunity. And it's opportunities like this that I think that encompass the point I'm trying to make is just giving them all we can to support them and prop them up. Y'all do a great job.
It's all for our students in the state. Our students deserve it.
Love it.
Well, Michelle, we appreciate you very much. It's been great.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this edition or episode, I guess, of Spilling the Tea in Studio D.